Morning all, how are we? Let me just straighten this out. Welcome to Warriors. Obviously I'm your host for today, Adam. And I'm just waiting on my guest, David Maths. Obviously, I think he's in China. I think. And obviously today if he arrives, we are going to. Yeah, he's just arrived now. We are going to be talking about, do we really know our intentions? Now, obviously that has got a broad scale when it comes to it. But first, do a little bit of promotion as we always do here on Warriors. Obviously, as you can see, I'm wearing the Warriors t-shirt. We've also got them. We've also got all different colours, stuff like that. So we've got grey, blue, black, you name it. We've also got Warriors mug. We've got them. So obviously they're all ready to be purchased at anytime you're actually interested in it. So without ado, I'm going to introduce David now after I played the intro video. So please share this and let me know in the comments what you think your intentions are. Good morning, Dave.
Oh, good morning. Yeah, good morning. Good morning. Okay.
Yeah, we're in morning for the next 58 minutes.
Okay, good on you.
How are you?
I'm pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've noticed since the last time you was on, your hair's grown.
I know, we're doing an experiment to see how crazy it can look. I'm thinking of joining a band soon, so I need to get ready. Yeah, like a 70s band maybe.
I never know. What instrument do you play? Or are you the singer?
Oh, well, I can't sing. When I go to karaoke here, like people will cringe. It's terrible. But I used to play the clarinet at school and the double bass.
Right.
Wow.
Oh, that's interesting.
There you go.
Right.
Because when I was 11, I was a tourist at school, but I stopped growing when I was 11, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so obviously it was you that came up with this. Do we really know what our intentions are? So give us a little bit about a background before we get started about who you are, what you do, and what inspired you to come up with this topic.
Let's see. I was born in London. I lived most of my life in Australia, but I came to China 2015. And I've been here ever since. In fact, I haven't been back to Australia for 5 years. Obviously, the pandemic's got some effect on that. So I'm living, at the moment, I'm in the middle of China near the south. And I work for a research institute, which actually researches consciousness. Strange, isn't it? So basically, it researches why we do what we do, why we think the way we think. And they've been doing it for 25 years. But it's very linked with health. It's very linked with, okay, the way we think is going to affect our health. So it actually originated from the founder's father was dying of a stroke, and he wanted to find out why, right? And he can never really get an answer. He's a strange character because he always wants to know things at the root. Give me the real bottom reason why this happened, and he can never get that answer. So he started, he calls it a quest to find out why we suffer, basically, and he's been doing it for 25 years.
Wow, very inspiring. So obviously people argue this all the time, where we all have a choice. Everything is a choice, but people disagree with that sometimes because it's all about that communication with our subconscious mindset, isn't it? That brings out the ego and the self-criticism of ourselves.
Yeah, like choice is such an interesting thing. So the reason, trying to link that together, the reason I came up with this, when you said, "Oh, what should we talk about?" and I said, "Oh, let's talk about intention," is that I've been working through this myself for a few months. When a little thing happened, and the founder of this institute just asked me a question about what was my thinking.
Yeah.
But just to explain that, basically, he's an odd character, because like when you first get to know him, you just start talking, and then he said, "Oh, why did you do that?" "Oh, I don't know." Like it's like when
Instant
he asked that question,
reaction, isn't it? It's an instant reaction.
like we just do things. It's so programmed, so normal. We think it's natural, but hey, why did I do that? Like, even why did I say something to that person? Why did I say it? So he basically, he's a very odd person, because he knows why he's doing things. He knows what he's going to do before he does it, and why he's doing it. And it's like, that's really odd, because normally, as you say, we just do things.
Yeah.
So he talks a lot about intention. He tries, and he's trying to basically help people, I guess, help the staff here and the clients who come think about, well, why are you doing that? Because, as you say, you've got choices.
Mm.
So in that choice, is it okay if I just keep talking? Is it all right?
Go for it. Go for it. This is about you. This is a discussion, isn't it?
It's like funny. It's just like, but stop me whenever you want to, or it gets boring or something. But it's just like, okay, I'm just going through a train of thought, which is like, we've got choices, right? So let me think. Just like now, right? I said, shall I keep going? Right? Now, if I keep going, I've sort of made an assumption that you actually want to listen to this, but why am I actually telling you this? Like, what's my intention? What is it? Is it because I want to convince you of something? Is it because I have a bit of pride, and I think, oh, it'd be nice for people to listen to me or make me feel good? What really is my intention? And to cut a long story short, we sort of found that in the research this institute did, we sort of found that people tend to be happier and healthier if their intention tends to be to do something for other people, but not for themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And obviously that was mine, because obviously I know I've got my daughter around, but she knows about this. But obviously because obviously we're raising autistic children, so it's not easy. And
what was that? Autistic children.
Yeah, we're raising autistic children. Yes.
Oh,
So if people say it's an easy job, it's a walk in the park raising autistic children,
right.
They have not got a clue what autism is. That's I'm putting that right there.
I can't imagine.
But obviously there was a bit of kicking off this morning. Obviously the kids went into crisis probably because of overstimulation, and and obviously it's. I was having a conversation with them, and because obviously we're teaching them about inspirations and why we should love life, why we should be grateful for what we have today, and yeah, absolutely, because it's all about, because they know that it's not just money that can make you rich. It's not like obviously we're practically we don't work. This is all voluntary. What we do, we don't get paid for it.
Oh,
And
I didn't know that.
exactly. But the kids know that we're rich. Why we say we're rich is because we've got a warm bed to sleep in every night. We've got a fresh cooked dinner. We've got clean clothes
Yeah.
on every single day, and we've got a roof over our head. So this is why we're grateful for this, and this is why we are rich, because there's people out there that are sadly less fortunate than us.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah,
obviously, I was inspiring them to basically say that that 18th of March is creeping up in 3 days, and that was on that day. So obviously, when what day are we on now? Tuesday, no, Wednesday. Wednesday. So on Saturday, it's going to be 4 years since I attempted suicide.
uh,
To the exact date. Hi Becky. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it's
I
four
tried. I
years.
tried too, actually. I tried suicide, and actually, the founder of this institute also was suicidal when he was
Well,
19 because he thought he'd let his family down, or he couldn't do what his parents wanted him to do, and he felt bad. He just felt inadequate, I think.
yeah, absolutely.
So
But
yeah.
yeah, because obviously I was saying that 18th of March 2019, that's when I was at
Mm.
my worst. I didn't want to be here. I didn't want to. My intention was to not live another day. But
Yeah.
now I'm living the best version of myself right at this very moment, and I'm loving life.
Well, why
And
is that?
that's what, yeah,
Can
because
I ask
obviously
you
the
why that
kids.
is?
What was that? Sorry.
Can I ask you why that is? It sounds really interesting.
Well, we all set out to live the best version of ourselves, because that always comes back to choices, because it's all about how we respond to these situations. Now, obviously,
Mm.
it just carries on, because yes, um yeah, hashtag
Can,
never quit. Okay,
can I can I
absolutely.
can I
Yeah,
mention something about that? What you just said about we always choose, like we always choose. What did you say, to live the best life we can, or what is it? What was
yeah.
it? Yeah.
Choose to live the best version of ourselves.
Yeah, that's that's an um, interesting thing. What is the best version of ourselves? So if I just said, can I just say something about myself about this?
Yeah, go for it.
It's just like, I think if I go back maybe like 20 years, maybe easier, maybe 20, 25 years, I love to have arguments with people.
Right.
I just loved it. I'm like, I was picking fights with people, not physical fights, but argumentative fights. And like I was really good at it. I could really annoy people and really be negative and things like that. And I would get a lot of pleasure out of it, actually, because it's like so stimulating and so
Yeah,
exciting to have a really good argument and really get intense about it. I can feel it now, even as I say it to you. So it was a way of really stimulating myself. So in that way, sort of, I didn't have a choice because I was like pre-programmed to be like that.
absolutely. Yeah,
I um, and and that's only when I start, like, if you've got a choice, you're really lucky. If you've got a choice, it means I think it means you start to evaluate, you know, what you're
what's
thinking,
your purpose and
what
stuff like that?
what
Yeah,
are you doing. We actually, it's funny, we've analyzed AI, right? Artificial intelligence. And basically, artificial intelligence, in a way, is a system of evaluation. It tries to pick what's the right answer in a
yeah,
neutral way. So actually, if humans could do that, that would be really having a choice, because it would be not like I was 25 years ago saying, I really just want to argue. And back then, I didn't have the choice to sit back and sort of say, "Oh man, that's interesting what you said. Let's talk about it. Can you share more about that?" And really mean that, like.
Yeah, yeah. Thinking about it, obviously back in our days when we was young. Obviously,
Back
I
in the
grew up in the
day.
'90s. I grew up in the '90s here,
God,
and
you're so young.
yeah, I know, I know. Well, I turned 32. Well, I turned 21, 32 times yesterday. So there you go. But
With your birthday, oh, happy birthday. So that makes you, what, you're 50, what was it, 53? Did I get it right or
32,
not? I got it wrong. Shit. You're
53.
30.
Wow, wow.
Oh,
Anyway, as I was saying, it is. It's all about purpose, and obviously back then when we was growing up, there were no communication surrounding these things.
no.
There wasn't. Obviously, I admit it's been 8 years since I actually knew mental health existed. Eight
Yeah.
years because it
Yeah.
was here, but nobody spoke about it because it's all going back to that pre-programming.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I was lucky. I was in Australia. I left the corporate life in 2002 and then got into sort of the mental health area. Not even sure why I was really. And I guess I'm still doing it. But I think maybe in Australia we were lucky. There was quite a lot of talk about it. I think it partly was driven by suicide because there were so many suicides in Australia.
Yeah,
Um, and I think that really shocked people. And then I remember I got involved with a research project on suicidality and trying to come up with strategies and things like that. That was about 2004. So
right. I was still in school then.
suicide actually drove a lot of people to say, what the hell is going on? What's the reason for that?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
and this is what it is because it's all about getting this message out into community now. A self belief.
Yeah. So I was just thinking, would you like to hear about what happened a few months ago where I started to think more of my intentions?
Oh, go
This
for it.
is
Well,
really,
that's what the topic is. Do we really know it?
so it was funny because what happened was that we run workshops up on a mountain near about an hour's drive from where I am now. Oh my
Right.
God, it's like heaven. It's like a heaven, this place. It's like beautiful mountain clouds, and it's really beautiful. And
Yeah.
we were up there, I think, preparing. We also shoot videos up there as well.
Yeah.
And we were preparing, and one of my one of the colleagues here said, "Oh, do you want to have some noodles?" And I said, "Oh yeah." So we had a choice. We could either get delivered in, or we could go for a walk and go to a local restaurant and get some. So I said, "Oh, it's a nice day. Do you want to go for a walk? We'll go and get some noodles." So off we went. And then later I bumped into David, the founder, and he said, "Oh, hey, how's your day?" Sort of thing. And I said, "Oh, I went off. We went off noodles. It was." He said, "Oh, what? Why didn't you call in or get order in? Why did you go for a walk?" I said, "Oh, I thought it'd be more enjoyable, and it was also enjoyable to share the company." And he said, "Ah, interesting." He said, "Be careful." And I was like, "What? What do you mean?" I thought we're here to enjoy our lives. He says that, yeah, but have you ever really thought about what that means? Because you're actually doing it for yourself.
Mm.
So I thought, wow, I never thought of that. So if I do things for my enjoyment, then yeah, I'm doing it for myself. So he says, then we started talking about intention. And he said, well, so when you talk to someone and when you do something, do you really know what your intention is? Because if you're
Well,
trying to, oh, sorry.
yeah. Well, obviously, I know we've all got our views on all this COVID stuff and all that. So obviously, um, obviously, my intention is when we was all locked down, literally the world was locked down.
Yeah.
Obviously, for the first 2 weeks of it, when it happened, I thought, okay, what's going on? That was the question. Did it impact my
Mm.
mental health a little bit? My anxiety did raise a little bit. Of course, it did. And but then I thought, here we go. I'm seeing an opportunity here. So this is why the Mental Health Warriors was born, and we've been going for nearly 3 years now. It come
Yeah, COVID.
July, it'll be 3 years. So
Yeah.
so obviously, while everybody has been struggling with their mental health, mental well-being,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
thinking, what's going on? What do we do? We have been doing this. We've been spreading our message. We've connected with people from all over the world, not just UK, but all over the world. Like you, of course. So also we're connecting with China, Australia, New York, you name it, Canada. We've done it all, and we're bringing stories out there. So this is our opportunity, and this is our intention to say enough is enough. Don't keep focusing on the negative, because if you keep focusing on the negative, that's you living in adversity, and it's time to
Yeah.
overcome that adversity and rebuild
Yeah.
that self-resilience.
Yeah. It's funny because one of the strange things we do here is that we focus on the negative.
Right. Because you're
You know,
allowing yourself to, though. You're allowing yourself
yeah.
to focus on it.
Well, we purposely do it because we found out that basically the theory is if you want to be happy, right? In fact, it's not about say there's a line, right?
Right.
Horizontal line, and above that line is happiness, right?
Okay.
And below this line is unhappiness,
Yeah.
suicidality, negativity, right?
Yeah.
So what we actually think, and from our own, I suppose, our being researching on ourselves, our own negativities bring us down here, right? So what we found is if we can understand what's causing the negativity and start to change that, then we will rise up to here, and then you reach this feeling of wow, things are okay, contentment, and then you don't actually have to go for up here because it seems that happiness is the removal of the negativities.
Yeah. See, feeling and experiencing negative, it
Yeah,
can actually it can actually be a good thing to receive it. Like I've always said, because obviously I've hit rock bottom several times,
yeah,
and
I've
obviously
read it sometimes.
so I know what hell looks like. I know what rock bottom feels like and looks like, and it's
Mm,
not a nice place. It's not.
no.
But now I've manifested into this, and I've transformed my mindset into believing yes, hitting rock bottom, it may look shit, but when you feel like you're on rock bottom and you can't go any lower, and you feel like you're in this small box and the walls are closing on you, there's only one direction, and it's still a choice. Do you stay where you are and
Mm,
allow yourself to get in between these walls, or do you look
mm,
up and say, right, okay, I'm shit, but can I get back out of this? And the answer is
mm,
yes.
that's great. That's very good. And in
Yeah,
fact,
it
yeah,
is.
it's funny. It seems that one of the positive things about being negative is that we would never want to improve something if we didn't if we didn't have some sort of negative feeling.
Yeah,
So, like if you look at your, say, lounge room and you say, don't really like this, it may lead you to tidy it up or repaint it or make it look nicer. So that way, negativity sort of will always be there, but for some people, it's a drive to improve things,
yeah,
maybe something like that.
absolutely,
Maybe that's
absolutely.
what you in a way what you're talking about. I just know for myself that when I'm swamped in negativity, it can be very hard to get out of it. It's like a momentum. It's a force which is so great.
Yeah.
It's like you okay, so you know what I'm talking about, and
Yeah.
and most of the world knows about this because most people experience this because life can be like that. So lots of negativities, and it's like it can be hard to get out of it. Very hard.
Yeah. It can. Yeah, it is. But I've now started to feel like I now believe it's okay not to be okay, but it's not
Yeah.
okay to stay not okay.
Yeah.
And what I feel like now is, and obviously everything I say, guys, is all from my own personal experiences, and that's all I do. But obviously, I admit I've made mistakes in the past. I really have. Do I have any regrets? No, I don't, because I haven't got time to sit and regret and focus on the adversity. I don't. So I'm always pushing forward.
So when did it change for you?
The day I actually overcame, because obviously when I attempted suicide in 2019, that's when I literally was petrified to even leave my bedroom for a good 8 days. 8 days. Yeah, I neglected the hell out of myself. I neglected my kids, and that's my wrongdoing. That is my wrongdoing, and I can openly admit that.
How did you get out of it?
Honestly, finding that self-belief, that self-resilience. Because when I did manage to get downstairs again, because obviously at that point when I was going through that, I didn't eat for about 3 days. I just couldn't eat. But obviously when autism awareness was coming up, which was April, obviously I signed up to do that walk where you walk 50,000 steps over autism, and obviously I had the T-shirt and stuff like that. And when I finally came downstairs, I was just sat there playing on my phone, and I was watching my kids, and they looked bored. They looked bored, and they were miserable. And I thought, what the hell am I doing? I need to be doing something here. So I gave myself a reality check. I was like, right, it's time we did something. So the morning when we took the kids to school, obviously I kept looking back. So I was walking really slow because this was like the first time I left the house in over a week since that severe anxiety attack. And
so it sounds like can I just
go on.
interrupt you? I just did. Because I think, yeah, I relate to what you're saying because basically, if we don't have a purpose, don't have a vision, then we just sit on the couch and do nothing, in a way. So what I understand from your story is that when you saw your kids, like you felt that purpose.
Yeah.
Is that? That's right. Yeah.
I felt like something needs to happen here. So when we was walking to school, obviously, I was really behind. I was walking really slow, and then my daughter just came up to me and she held my hand and she went, "Dad, you can do this." So obviously that inspired me to say, "Okay, we've got somewhere here." So this is why, when people ask who is your role model, people basically say, for example, Bon Jovi or a footballer or a musician or an artist and all that. My role models are my kids.
Yeah. What do you
They
mean?
are.
What do you mean by
They're
that?
my role models.
What do you mean by that? Like,
what do I mean about that is, yes, they can be annoying. They really can. But everybody can be annoying from time to time. Everybody can. And but the thing is, though, when it comes to kids, it's, yes, they're annoying, but I wouldn't change them. I really wouldn't, because when they're when they're really short, their empath, bring out their empath.
Yeah.
People love them. They really
Bring
do.
out. Yeah.
Hello, Camille. Long time no see.
I agree with you because I
Yeah.
think, in a way, if we could all be more like children, we'd be a lot happier. Because like children
Yeah.
don't have pretension. They're not like trying to achieve something. They're just having fun. If they make a mistake, it's not the end of the world and that sort of
Yeah,
stuff. It's
absolutely.
much more free and easy.
Yeah.
It's only later when we have to have an image or have to succeed in something that life starts to get harder, you think.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Life is how. Thank you, Camille. Life is how you come out of it because and this is where I'm coming back to choices because every time, every day, and every decision we make comes down to a choice. It can either be a
Yeah,
positive choice or a negative choice. And we've got that, like, for example, the moment you wake up, some people wake up positive and they're full of beans or energy and stuff like that. And they go out and have a morning jog, which I did the other day at like 5:30 in the morning with my son. Or
yeah,
the negative is they refuse to get out of bed.
yeah.
That's a choice. So it's all about keeping going.
Yeah. I think, like for myself, and when I talk to my colleagues or friends, um, what a lot of people say is that they are able to make some changes when they could slow down.
Yes.
When there's like a break in the program, so they don't immediately respond back or they don't immediately do something. They have a
Yeah.
little
Well,
break
yeah, because
or
obviously
pause.
I listen to motivational speeches
Yeah.
all the time. Even when I'm in the shower, I'm listening to them, and they inspire me
Really?
because
That sounds dangerous.
yeah, I actually do. Yes, yeah, I've got an app on my phone and I listen to them while I'm in the shower. I don't care.
This
I
is
do it
good. Good.
because obviously
This is
that
good.
gives me time to reflect. Because yes, I have time as a family, but also it's
Yeah.
always good to have a bit of you time, a bit of me time,
Oh
and because
yeah.
that gives you that
Vital.
time to self-reflect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
yeah, and
so
obviously there's a saying, and I think it's either Les Brown or someone else, and they basically said, I think it was Les Brown, that basically said, when you're asleep and you're clicking that snooze button, just remember there's someone out there that is pushing to their dreams while you're still in bed.
there's someone pushing to their dreams. Yeah,
Yeah,
when it's in
yeah,
bed.
yeah. Because obviously you can't have dreams without goals.
No, absolutely. So I guess that's what you've done. You've gathered a group of like-minded people around you, have a common
I have,
vision.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Great.
Obviously, we've got like doctors and nurses in our system, and they don't work for me. They don't. Obviously, they fob me off too many times. But when it comes to my self care, my support, I turn to things like this and motivational videos. And
Mm.
believe it or not, there's an artist out there called Evanescence. Obviously, she does sing soft rock, and she helps with her music when I'm down.
Mm.
So
That's
yeah,
that.
there's just strategies. They're just strategies, right? What's this?
We use music as well, even to the extent of analyzing which music would induce certain feelings and things. It's really
Yeah,
interesting, actually. Yeah, even certain
yeah,
tones or notes, as we know, can have an effect
yeah.
on us.
Exactly. And as Camille says, going to sleep and restful nights for me, dreams are the university, and daytime here is like a school.
That's nice. Really
And
nice.
it's like I'm gonna put that up. Yeah, that is just awesome.
Yeah. You're lucky if you have, actually, I think you're fortunate and lucky if you can have a good night's sleep because a lot of people struggle with that.
They do struggle. Yeah, yeah.
It's a precious
Yeah,
thing.
obviously, yeah. I experience a lot of insomnia from time to time, and like even last night, I was struggling to fall asleep because I just had a lot on my head, and
Yeah.
and obviously it's so obviously I was downstairs reflecting until about 2:30 in the morning, and when I did finally go to sleep, I was still up about 7-8 o'clock. So
Mm.
I've had very little sleep last night, but don't worry, I'll still have a bit of a tip from some point today after I've done my revision because I'm at university tonight.
What are you studying?
Well, I'm redoing my GCSE maths.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
and obviously, once I've passed that, then I'll be redoing my GCSE English. And then once I've passed that, because they're only 1 year courses, I'll be
Yeah.
studying psychology.
Right.
So I'll be doing my degree in psychology, then going for my master's, and then I'm going to go for my PhD.
Wow.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
I'm going to go for it. Yeah.
And you're still only 32. You're not like me, and you're not 67.
You don't look it. So yeah, that is my goal. I'm like, obviously, I know I've got a baby on the way, but
Wow.
obviously, I've said to people, I don't care if I've got a baby on the way. It's not going to stop me achieving what I set out to do, and then obviously I'm just going to keep going with this university studying because this is me doing something for me.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so important to enrich your life.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, like I always say to my kids all the time, I don't care how much I love them because I do, the dearest, but my life, me taking care of me is a hell of a lot more important than the kids combined.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true because I think for me that my children started to get better
Mm.
when I got better.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it had a big impact on them. They were both struggling health-wise, and when I
Okay.
improved, they improved. Yeah, we're all connected, eh? Especially to our
Yeah.
children.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, what what do you think? What feedback would you give to someone that is struggling to find their own intentions?
Ah, wow, that's a good question. Struggling to find their own intentions. I
Like
think
for
that,
example, if you saw yourself like your, I don't know, 15-year-old self, what would you what? I'm not going to say advice, but what feedback would you give to them?
I think that okay, the answer that comes to my top of my head is like it's like we're all on some sort of path or journey, right? Now, I didn't have much of a clue on having fulfillment in life. I need to probably
Okay.
started maybe when I was about 50. And it's only recently, probably in the last year, in fact, that I really felt, wow, finally found something that I seem to be able to have enjoyment with, but it also seems to contribute as
Mm,
well. That's only happened to me in the last year. I think it's difficult because I think one of the problems is that a lot of people struggle with curiosity.
right. Okay.
Because if you're curious, in a way, you're very lucky because you will think, oh, you'll investigate things, find things out, wonder why they didn't work, and all this sort of stuff. So it's like if you haven't got that curiosity, it makes that question you're asking, I think, a lot harder. And you may
Right.
not
Yeah.
just you may not be born with it. But I suppose one thing that can help is who your friends are, maybe.
Who
Because
your support network is? Yes.
yeah, because they could help ask you questions. So it's like, who are your friends? Are they friends who would challenge you, who would say something to you, even though even though they might know that you might never want to see them again? You know, if you've got those sort of friends, which you might call real friends, that can be really helpful. The ones who will risk their friendship for you, sort of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, obviously, me going down this path, I have lost a lot of friends. I have
Yeah.
lost, but to
Yeah.
be honest, I'm not here to make friends. I'm not. I'm here to live the best version of myself and
Yeah.
to find that purpose and eradicate stigma, mental health, and turn mental health into mental well-being
Yeah.
and or mental wealth, as people put it. But it's always about spreading that message of self-belief that there is
Mm.
life out there, and people should be grateful just to be
Yeah.
getting up in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, that,
I
that that's what I'm here for.
Yeah. It's a very interesting thing you said about friends lost and things like that, because
Yeah.
I think I just, from my own like what I've been coming
Mhm.
across in my own life is that the more I try to, the more I understand the difficulties I had in maybe communicating, the difficulties with like my anger or something like that, or my selfishness. If I can understand it more, then suddenly sometimes I get some sort of thought or something that says,
Yeah.
"Wow, I really didn't treat that person well." It becomes less their fault and more, wow, I more understanding my own maybe difficulties, and then sometimes I have gone back and apologized to people when I've realized what I might have done. People can find that really surprising and whatever, but sometimes
Yeah.
it's can be really beneficial. Um,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's just
yeah,
all about it's just all about what's that next instead of finding those excuses of what ifs.
yeah, absolutely. Wow, that's if you can think that way, and also like one of the hard things to do is about intention, I suppose, is to doubt yourself. It's like,
Absolutely. Well, this is why I keep saying on not just here but other people's lives as well is we can also be we are our greatest self critic, but at the same time
yeah,
we are our own greatest teacher. We are
yeah.
our own teacher.
That's right. If we can analyze, and it takes a bit of help or logic or asking people,
Absolutely,
when I
absolutely.
did that, what did you think? Or did I say that okay? Or, that sort of stuff,
Yeah,
Yeah, that's, I couldn't do that 10 years ago, and now I'm trying to learn to do it.
and that's what it is because life's the greatest lesson. See, I'm actually dealing. I'm actually putting these strategies now into place. Where well, I've been doing it for the last couple of months. Where I'm putting the strategies into place now into dealing with the trauma from when I was 3 years old, so 29
Yeah,
years ago, and I'm
yeah,
dealing with that now. So it does take time. And to be honest, if people say they haven't got time, what a load of rubbish. Because we've all got time. And why I say that, because you're here, you're living, and you're breathing.
yeah.
Yeah. And
I think,
if you can't find time because we can all take 5-10 minutes out of our time just to
mm,
reflect on our lives. We can all do
yeah,
that.
yeah. I think you're fortunate, because I think, I mean, I've met people, and I think, um, who, I don't know, it's like couldn't face something or something like that. And I think for
Yeah.
myself, I mean, basically, I think the basic human condition in a way is whatever it is, trauma or whatever it is, or us saying the wrong thing to someone, is that sometimes it can be very hard to face.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
It's like
Absolutely.
it's not it's like in the condition of humans, it's not a natural thing for us to face things.
Yeah.
So sometimes like a friend's network can really help you, face something with support of others or something, which could be hard to
Yeah.
do on your own. That's
Absolutely.
what I feel. So communities, if they can work, like it can be really beneficial. Right.
Hi, Annette. Hi, Net. You have literally just missed a really good discussion about intentions. So anyone that's coming in, obviously at some point, go back to the start because me and Dave just had a really good conversation surrounding this. Really good. So yeah, all I can
Yeah.
say, Dave, is thanks.
Thanks, mate.
Absolutely. Yeah, and please share this all because we need to get this message out there and get people to realize their own intentions.
Yeah. Thanks a lot,
So
Adam.
yeah, you're most welcome. You're most welcome. So obviously, I'll do that now, and I'll see you. What day are we on now? Wednesday. I'll see you back on Friday because I've got a real good topic here. But obviously, it'll be during the night for you, Dave. I'm afraid
Yeah, 8 hours different, I think. As
it
you worked
is.
it
It
out,
is.
8
With you
hours.
in China.
You're doing well with the maths course. You worked it out. It was 8 hours.
Right.
Tell the
See
teacher
you later.
you got that one. Okay.
Bye.
See you around. Thanks, mate.